Let's talk about question number 1B that appeared in the June 2025 exam paper in the subject Digital Marketing as examined by the Zambia Institute of Marketing. This was under the program Diploma in Marketing. The question required students to describe the steps in the process of building a website. The question required students to describe the steps in the process of building a website, and this was worth 10 marks. The first step in building a website is analysis. To analyze is to assess an environment so that you are able to answer the question, where are we now? Where are we in terms of what? Where are we in terms of, number one, the internal environment? The internal environment covers a number of factors. For example, money. How much financial resources are available to the organization for it to invest in digital marketing campaigns? Another internal environmental factor you may wish to consider is men and women. Men and women, do they have the skills and the qualifications, including the experience, to be able to manage a digital marketing campaign? Do they? Yes or no? That is the answer that you're going to find when you conduct your internal marketing analysis. There are a number of other factors, but those two are what are worth mentioning at this particular point. Then you proceed and conduct an analysis on the external environment. And when we talk about the external environment, you may remember PESTEL. P for political, E for economical, S for social and cultural, T technological, L legal, ecological factors. You may wish to choose the ones that are relevant to a particular issue at a particular time. So for example, what are the income levels of your target audience? Would they be able to, or do you think, considering their income levels, they have a smartphone? Just as an example, because if they do not have a smartphone, you may foresee that instead of your organization building a mobile application that requires to be downloaded, it may be much more useful to instead invest in a USSD application. To invest in USSD, like the *115 hash, *229 hash, those are USSD. And so it is important that you conduct an analysis of the external environment. This is step number 1 in the process of building a website. Step number 2, objectives. What do you want to achieve? For example, it could be a financial institution whose objective is to create a platform allowing the business to be able to achieve not less than 50 million kwacha worth of transactions or transfers. That could be the objective of the business. Another example could be that as a business, you want to bring together customers and educate them or share information through a subscription service. And therefore, on the website, you're going to have a form that customers are able to complete, submit, and register to subscribe to your online newsletter. That is an objective. You must be clear from the onset. It must be clear from the onset what the objectives are. Step number 3, the design. This is where you get a paper and a pencil and you begin to sketch out how you want your website to be. The layout, the structure, the colors, where the images are going to be, where the text is going to be. You lay out all that at this particular stage of the design. With that done, you then move on to the next stage, which is step number 4, and it is development. The developers, in this case, the programmers and the database experts, are going to look at your design and they are going to develop functions of the website that are aligned to the design. So for example, in your design, you may have indicated that you want a form, and this particular form Part of it only takes in numbers, meaning a user must not be able to enter letters. The programmer is going to write code which validates a customer's input to ensure that it meets a particular criteria. The programmer may do other things like, for example, write code which authenticates a user. A user may be required to enter a student number, and the student number is checked against a database to determine whether that student number exists or it does not exist, and other functions may follow. This is part of the development process. The development process follows the design. Why? Because the developers are going to have to create that which is required in the design. And equally, the database experts are going to come in because some websites may be data driven. It could be a website where a student is able to check for their results. For this to happen, the results need to be placed in a database, and the student needs to be able to access that particular database after passing through some authentication process. So the developers come through at this particular case and bring the website to life. Step number 5, testing. Step number 5, testing. What is it that is being tested for? The website has been done. It has been developed according to the design that was prescribed, and also to ensure that it's able to achieve the specific objectives that were defined. And so you are testing that the website is mobile friendly. So you test it on different devices, for example, on a mobile phone, on a tablet, and also on a laptop. You may also test the website to check that the links, the hyperlinks are working, and the functions as prescribed are also working. Is it possible for a user to be able to transfer credit from one account to another? If yes, then it is working as desired. You are going to have a checklist, and for every test that is successful, you check. A test that's not successful would require that you go back to the development stage, or possibly go back to the design stage, or indeed possibly go back to the objective stage to ensure that each one of those steps passes as true, allowing you to go to the next step. So testing is also a step in the process of building a website, an important step in the process of building a website, and this was step number 5. Step number 6, deployment. Step number 6, deployment. It is at this stage that the website goes online. All this while, your website was offline, but this time you are going to go live. This means that you are going to upload your files onto the server as provided to you by your respective hosting company. It means that your website is now going to be available on the World Wide Web so that a person in Mongo can access it, someone in Australia, someone in India, regardless of where they are, as long as they have access to the World Wide Web, then they should be able to access your website upon deployment. And therefore, deployment is step number 6. These are what a student needed to have talked about. The student needed to have described each one of these steps, meaning number 1, identify the steps. Number 2, describe what's involved in that particular step and give an example. And this was worth 10 marks. I sincerely hope that you found this presentation helpful. My name is Savoy, and I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Captain 37. The 3 and the 7 are numbers, Captain 37. I also invite you to follow and like my Facebook page, Marketing Study in Zambia. And should you need assistance in your studies, feel free to get in touch with me. Goodbye.